Hi everyone, Michelle Walsh again with Hourglass Time. Thanks for joining me. Quick one today. I just wanted to talk to you about gratitude. The Science of Gratitude by Robert Emmons is very, very special to my heart, and in our lives it has made such a huge difference. So I wanted to share this with you. So about a year ago now, I was lucky enough to be flown to Canberra by my beautiful friend Fiona, and I spent the day sitting in a gratitude workshop with a friend of ours called Rod. And he talked about the science of gratitude. And at this point, I hadn't really heard about that or the theory of well-being, which I go into in much more depth in my courses. And I learned about gratitude and the practice of, being grateful for three things each day and the impact it can have on your body, on your mind, on your well-being, on your health even, and your relationships. So it was really amazing to me, and I raced home. I got so excited. I raced home to my children and my husband. I said, right, we're going to do this. We're going to implement this new thing. And of course, my husband, as I'm sure, thought, oh my gosh, here she goes again. A new thing we've got to implement. I'm always about implementing new things because I am a learner and I like to try new things. And if I can better the way I parent, the way I live, then that's me. That's what I'm going to do. For him, he has to come along for the ride. So I came home, we sat down, and for the next maybe 6 months, we spent every night at the table and we just said three things we're grateful for. And it was really special. At first, we had to obviously explain to the children what that meant because they were quite young. But once we got the hang of it, it was really, really good. And, my husband and I were able to use this a bit as a teaching strategy. So, we were able to say things like, gee, I'm really grateful that we have a warm shower or a pillow to sleep on, and things that maybe they wouldn't have ever thought of as something that they could be grateful for, and probably that they should. So that was really, really valuable. We also used it a lot to thank each other, to recognize our children. I want to thank Daddy for this beautiful meal tonight, or Mummy for all the help she gave today when I was running late and couldn't find the kids' shoes, or whatever it is. In the last probably 6 months, I've changed it up a bit. I've given it a bit of a shake up. And so I wanted to share this with you at the moment just for free, but I'd love you to come over and join the course where we'll go in depth much more to explore how you can take your children on a journey with this. But what we do now is we just go around the table and we share one thing that we are grateful for, one thing that we found a little bit tricky, but maybe we're able to overcome, or we need the family's help with that. And so then we can maybe do some questioning, rather than giving advice, but questioning, did you think about this person in this way? Or did you think maybe the person didn't mean to do that? That one's a really good one. It means you can just sort of cover off those roadblocks that you and your children might have. The other thing I've found with that is that my husband and I have been able to actually show our children that we're quite human, and that actually each day there would be something a little bit challenging that we have to face. I think our children can quite easily think that our lives are very easy, and that we don't have any troubles. And I think sometimes we hide that from them. This is a really great way to be able to actually say, my husband will say stuff about work. It was really hard to find this particular photo that I needed for a story. And he works at the newspaper, but it was really tricky for me to find that. So the boys quite often will look at us like, oh, okay, you had a bit of trouble today too. We then do, so that's one grateful, one tricky. We then share one thing we found funny. Now this is surprisingly tricky. So sometimes our tricky is just that trying to remember something that was funny throughout the day. Really interestingly, you often don't realize things are funny, or you don't remember the funny things. Maybe it's because in the moment we have a bit of a laugh and then we move on. What we've found ever since we've implemented the funny aspect into our gratitude practice, now when you're having a bit of a laugh with someone, you'll be like, oh, I've got to remember that for later. And even one night my husband was like, I've been, waiting to tell you this all day. I had the funniest dream last night. And so it was sort of a bit odd because he wouldn't have previously remembered that. So anyway, that's our funny. And of course, it's always a bit of a joke. Often the children have to get up from the table to demonstrate their funny because, body language helps when you're trying to be funny. And then we kick back in to sharing one thing we're hopeful for. I've been doing a lot of learning. And one of the things I learnt in the theory of well-being and information around that from Dr. Martin Seligman's books was that people who are depressed, and in particular anyone who really, really suffers with depression, often don't have hope. So there's a missing piece of having a hopeful aspect to their thinking. So we have implemented that. So what are you hopeful for? And one of the most amazing things I've found is that I've got a 6 and an 8-year-old, and they will share things like, I'm hopeful that mummy has a good day tomorrow, or I'm hopeful that my friends will play with me tomorrow. But they're actually thinking about other people. I'm hopeful that so-and-so gets a good present for their birthday. And I'm thinking, wow, 6 months, 12 months ago, there's no way my children would have thought of other people in regards to their gratitude and their hopeful. So call to action, comment below, share on your page, get everyone practicing gratitude with their children. It will change our world. Practice it for 21 days. And if you're still not satisfied in 21 days, reach out and we'll have a chat, because I'm certain that you will see a shift. Please share that with me. I just want to celebrate your improvements and your changes and you being happy and your children experiencing amazing things. I think you'll see less tantrums. I think you'll see better sleep. I think you'll see a better overall relationship within your household. And that's my hope for you anyway. So until next time, have a wonderful day. Spend some hourglass time with your children today. And I look forward to talking to you soon. See ya.